Welcome everyone, Clint Mallon here with a brand new video, and today we're going to be talking about the Gamma Cyborg versus the Wahl Hi-Viz. Before I received both of these products, I knew exactly what I was going to get. You know, I've been doing this for a long enough time and I've tried so many products that if I receive a product from a company, I have a good idea of what to expect. Some companies are known for pushing the boundaries and being the most progressive and aggressive when it comes to what they create, and that's exactly what this is. And some companies are known for resting on their laurels and overcharging for products that are right in the middle of the line. This is them trying really hard. They tried to make a Lamborghini. This is a Lamborghini. This is straight up amazing. This was their shot at it. You can see them side by side. There's a huge difference between both of these products, and I can't wait to share that information with you. If you'd like to see how these stack up against something like a BaByliss or JRL, Stylecraft, TPOB, Andis, Wahl Lackluster, whatever, go to my website, clintmallon.com. If you look up in the navigation bar, you're gonna see the archives. If you click on that page, the very first article is going to be the world's best hair trimmers. And if you go through that page, I get a lot of comments from people, Clint, what do you think about this versus that? Your answer is on that page. I've spent so much time and so much money, well over $3,000 to be able to put these versus videos together for you. I put that website together. I've spent 300, 400 hours. I can't even tell you how much time I have put into this project to try and help people out. That's the purpose of this video. I'm not doing this to make money. I'm not a sellout. No one's gonna send me a product like Wahl sent me this. This is a $200 product. This is the most conflicted video I've ever made because every product that I've purchased up until this point, I've purchased all of them. I purchased this. They sent me a $199 product, so they did me a favor. And I'm looking at it because I have a heart and I'm going, do I do them a favor? You know, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I told them from the get-go, if I don't like it, I'm gonna tell people I don't like it. And they said, that's fine, we just want your honest review. We're really proud of this product, so they shipped it to me. And then I received it, and you're gonna hear in this video what I think about it, and I'm like, do I give them a good review? If any company out there wants to send me a product and you want me to give it an excellent review, all you have to do is create an outstanding product, and I'll tell you it's outstanding. That's the purpose of what I do. My why is to try and help out my viewers. If I start going down the rabbit hole of watching reviewers on YouTube, I am gonna get a lot of lies, some truth, a lot of sponsored videos, a lot of promotion videos, unboxings. What these people get, you know, they get a box from BaByliss, they get a box from Stylecraft, then they get a box from TPOB, then they get a box from Stylecraft, and a box from Stylecraft, and a box from Stylecraft. And it's outrageous how many people say Stylecraft is great. In my experience, I've purchased 8 products from Stylecraft. None of them are great. They are average, middle of the line. People don't understand, yeah, Gamma Stylecraft is the same company, but Gamma gets all the best products for themselves. This is the same thing as a Stylecrap Saber. This is far superior to a Saber. The X Ergo is the same thing as the Stylecraft Ergo. The X Ergo is a Gamma product. That's the superior product. The Gamma Boosted Clipper is the same thing as the Rebel, same thing as the Absolute Alpha, same thing as the Protege. The Boosted is the best product. Gamma gets all the great stuff, and this product is freaking awesome. It's awesome. If you're thinking about going to get a Stylecraft Saber because everyone on YouTube says it's the greatest product, don't listen to them. Don't. Go watch my review. It's a piece of junk. It is a piece of junk. It's 199 bucks. Is it better than this? I'm not gonna say this is a piece of junk, but it's on the same level as this. This is a complete different level of product. So if you guys want to see how everything stacks up, I keep my website updated all the time. I might have given a review and gave a product an 8 out of 10 or an 8.5 or whatever. My mind is subject to change. As long as we are human and we realize that life happens and things change and our opinions change and we can admit fault. That's what it is, you know, that's who I am. And that website, I can update live. I can't update my reviews on YouTube because if I pull those videos down, they're gone forever. So I just leave those videos up and I keep my website updated. So if you guys really want to see how everything stacks up, go to my website. There's not a single place on the internet. Nobody has put in more time than me. I promise you that. I promise you that. I love making these videos. I'm so passionate about this. I've been reviewing products since I was a kid. And everyone's like, Clint, you're Consumer Reports. Why don't you start a YouTube channel? Well, here I am. That's exactly why I'm doing this. My why is to help you out. If you guys enjoy my content, please subscribe to the channel. It helps tremendously. I'm at 400. I produce so many videos. Each one of these videos takes about 10 hours. And I'm only at 400 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 5,000. Leave a comment, give the video a like. It helps out tremendously. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. I can't wait to tell you guys the difference between these two products. Please enjoy. So on the left, we have the Gamma Cyborg, and on the right, we have the Wahl Hi-Viz. The Gamma Cyborg has an MSRP of $199.95, and I got it for $211.95 after tax at Amazon.com. The Hi-Viz has an MSRP of $199 even on their website, and I got it for free from Wahl. They actually sent me this. So the Gamma Cyborg has a brushless motor that runs at 7,500 RPM, which is world class. A lot of times 6,800 is going to be the standard, 7,000 is great, that's plenty, 7,200 is getting pretty strong, this is 7,200. When it comes to rotary and brushless motors, 7,500 is about as high as you're going to get. This does have a lithium ion battery with a 3-hour runtime, which is excellent. 2 hours is average, 3 hours is fantastic, 4 hours is about as high as you're going to see when it comes to any of the trimmers on the market. The charge time for this is an hour and a half, which is pretty quick. This does have a battery indicator, which is going to be 4 LEDs right here, which I think is phenomenal. That's what all companies should be doing at this day and age. The FXOne, LoPROFX, and FX Skeleton, they're going to have a battery at the bottom that's going to have 4, so it shows you 75, 50, 25, and then 0. The way that Gamma has chosen to do this, I think, is awesome. You can see with the Wahl, of course, everything Wahl does, they do a little bit less. So this is only going to have 3 LEDs, which is better than 1 nonetheless. But the way that they do the LEDs on this, I think, is awesome. As far as the charging port, you are going to see a standard proprietary at the bottom. But on the back towards the bottom, you're going to see a USB-C. I've been saying this for a long time now. Every single company on the market needs to have USB-C. Guess what? Standard proprietary and USB-C. So as far as the charging options on both of these, absolutely world class. I love what they've both done with the charging as far as both of these devices are concerned. This does have a charging stand, which is one of the nicest charging stands I've ever seen. I'm going to show you that in the unboxing evolve section. This does not come with trimmer guards. This does come in one color, which you can see is this silver. It's kind of like a brushed aluminum look. I think it looks fantastic. This is the same device as a Stylecrap Saber. Same internals, same blade, same the one cutting blade, same X Pro. But the way that this is designed, Gamma always gets the nice products, while Stylecraft gets the trash. This is a metal body also, very, very sturdy. The ergonomics of it are excellent. This little ring around right here where your fingers kind of groove into it wherever you're holding it, I think is fantastic. As far as the design of this is the best product that Gamma or Stylecraft makes when it comes to trimmers. As far as it being 360-degree skeleton, it is. You can see how thin the neck is. The shoulders are also thin. When you get to the body, it gets a little thicker right here, and then it contours. This whole thing is circular. It's not square like the Stylecraft Saber, or rectangular, I should say, which is kind of a funny design. But you can see the neck of this. The visibility is excellent. So if you're trimming around someone's mustache or their ears or any sort of lineups that you're trying to do with this, the visibility on this is excellent. And then as far as the blade, this is going to be their X Pro. It's actually a very deep tooth blade also. It's going to have the one cutting blade. You can see how it comes to a slope and then it kind of flattens out. So that's with the one cutting blade. That's the design that they use. Thick blade. You can see the screws do pop out. All Stylecraft and Gamma products do have screw heads that protrude, which is going to keep it from using trimmer guards, which we're going to get into here in a second. But as far as the blade on this, as far as the neck, as far as it being 360-degree skeleton, everything about this design I think is phenomenal. They just call this a stainless steel X Pro top blade. The one DLC deep tooth cutting blade. You can actually see where you would go to zero gap, but you'd have to move these bars out of the way. Because these are hidden behind the neck, this is not easy to zero gap. You do have to unscrew both of these and pop that off. We're going to get into that here in a second. I definitely wish that they were doing what BaByliss and JRL does. JRL, you just unscrew these a little bit and you move the blade where you want it and screw them back on, which is the easiest and the best I've ever seen. Something like a TPOB Troll or X, the 2 hex screws are visible. You just unscrew them a little bit, move the blade where you want it, put it down on a table, and then screw them back in, and then you're zero gap. So this is not the best when it comes to zero gapping. That's one of the faults of this. and the fact that the screws protrude. You cannot use trimmer guards on this. I know a lot of barbers don't use trimmer guards, but that doesn't matter. There are a lot of people in the world that are using a product like this to trim everything, slap a guard on it, manicure their body, one and done. This is not a one and done product. This is more of just a trimmer instead of something that you can use all around. So one issue with this is when you're scooping with this, so instead of hitting someone's sideburn and then just going straight down their face, that works fine. But when you come upside down and then you're scooping under someone's neck, this pulls. This definitely snags and pulls. This pulls also. We're gonna get into that here in just a few, but I did want to mention that. Nice blade, nice neck, nice ergonomics, beautiful design. I love the brushed. I love the grooves in the back. USB-C, this is a world-class product. So the Wahl has what's called an adaptive speed control motor. They don't say anywhere on their website if it's rotary, brushless, magnetic, or vector. I can tell you right now, this is not magnetic and it's not vector. Brushless motors kick on instantly. So the fact that this goes when you turn it on, this is a rotary motor. If you really believe in your product, just tell us what it is. There's no reason to be vague. Adaptive speed control motor. Just say it comes with a 7,200 RPM rotary motor, which is what it actually is. It really irritates me about this company. This does have 7,200 RPM. This is 7,500 RPM. As I mentioned, 6,800 is plenty. That's standard. 7,000 is excellent. 7,200 is very powerful. So this does have a powerful motor. You can hear it. It sounds powerful. Because the metal housing, this does not have a crazy amount of vibrations like the Gold Detailer LI. So with the amount of power in this, it's not rattling in your hand and shaking like crazy. There's definitely some vibration, but it's nothing crazy. This is way quieter and it's more substantial. You can tell that the metal or the aluminum that they use on the outside is heavier. This vibrates less than this does. This does have a lithium ion battery. It has 135-minute runtime, which is 2 hours plus. Charge time on this is going to be 45 minutes, which is very quick. As I mentioned, this does have a battery indicator. You can see the 3 little LED lights. I don't know why they chose 3. What are we doing? 66, 33, 0? Why not just do 75, 50, 25, 0? Makes more sense what Gamma did. So the charging port on this is going to be a standard proprietary. And you can see the little V in the bottom. So when you insert this cord, you can't insert it both ways like you can with a USB-C. But good thing is they did put a USB-C on this. They've been listening. So I love the fact that they put that in there. I think that's a very nice addition to this product. Every single trimmer and clipper in the world today should have a USB-C. I know a lot of Gamma and Stylecraft products have a micro USB. I haven't seen a micro USB cord since like Blackberries. I don't know who has one. You know, a lot of these YouTubers are like, hey, it comes with a micro USB. That way, if you're traveling, you can ask one of your friends for their micro USB. Nobody has a Blackberry. Nobody has a Motorola Razr or a Nokia bar phone. I don't know who uses a micro USB anymore, but I do know Apple is now switching everything from Lightning over to USB-C. So everyone's going to have a USB-C. USB-C is Android and Apple moving forward, and iPads and Samsung Galaxy tabs, and just everything is going USB-C. And then micro USBs are like 1982. This does come with a charging stand, which we're going to get to in a few. As far as the guards, this does not come with guards. This does come in one color, which is this silver. What's crazy about this is if you really look at it, it's kind of like a frosted fingerprint magnet. It's not really like a brushed aluminum. Like you can see both of these side by side. It's hard to find a place where you can see them, but just look how much nicer the Gamma is finished. This looks cheap. It looks like they just slapped it together. This looks like they took their time and actually polished it. It's just a much, much nicer looking silver metal body. This does have a metal body, as I just mentioned. This is 360-degree skeletoned. The visibility on this is also really good. It's a different way of doing things. The visibility on this is better. Like, look at my thumb. If I throw my thumb in there, there's a ton of space. With this, there's a lot less space. It's like half my thumb. There's a lot more visibility on Gamma, Stylecraft, you know, BaBylissPRO skeletons. But at least they gave us a skeleton design finally. You can see the neck on the back of the Gamma is a lot thinner, but the body of this is actually really thick. This is an extremely thick trimmer. and it's a very strange ergonomical design. I don't know what they were smoking or what kind of LSD or mushrooms they were on, but it kind of looks like a Tesla Cybertruck. It's just a funny looking design when this is like Audi. Audi is not like super aggressive with their designs. They don't make anything that's really offensive. This is not a pretty trimmer. Look at that. It looks like it's deformed, or like they slapped into a mold and it popped out and they were like, okay, I mean, we're done with the mold. Let's just go ahead and sell it. Like there wasn't a lot of thought put into this. And also, I'm going to show you guys here in a few. Actually, hold on one second. When barbers are working, or when people own these things, there's a lot of times that they're not going to stick it in a stand, and they're going to throw a cord in it and it's going to have to lay on its back. See how that wobbles kind of quickly and then it finds its base? It's because of the back of this, the way that it's shaped. And then you can see the blade right here. It has some wobble, but it finds its footing pretty quickly. This thing is ridiculous. Like, Wahl doesn't consider anything besides the fact that their name is so big that when they're whoever designs this stuff is crazy. Like, look at this. Very poor design. And this is the highest end product that they make. This is the most expensive, baddest trimmer that they make. I mean, even like a Wahl Senior and a Wahl Magic Clip, that's their bread and butter. Those aren't as expensive as this. And this can't even sit on its back correctly. Like, this is a joke. Wahl, what are you doing? Look at what the big names are doing and just copy them. BaBylissPRO, JRL, they are at the top. These are the best two products. These are the best two companies also. Look at this. How come it doesn't wobble? Because JRL knows what they're doing. They know how to design stuff. They put this little plastic piece right here, and then the back of the blade is flat. So when this thing sits on a table, it just sits. This thing, they should have called it the Wahl Roly-Poly. And then of course BaBylissPRO knows what they're doing. Look how far the blade sticks out and it's flat. So when you drop this on its back, it just sits. I don't really like this thing at all. Like, this sits way over here. Like, these are great. I actually think these two are at the top. This is right below it. Actually, BaBylissPRO, JRL are at the top. And then Oster is right below them. Because if you want a really, really nice clipper, you're buying a detachable. And Oster makes the best detachables in the world. And then Gamma is sitting right here. Gamma and Stylecraft are the same company, but Stylecraft gets all the garbage, the throwaways, while Gamma keeps all the good stuff for themselves. The Gamma Cyborg is the exact same thing. I'm just going to use this because I really love JRL. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pretend that this is Stylecraft because I don't really like it and I don't really like Stylecraft. The Gamma Cyborg is the same thing as the Stylecraft Saber. Gamma Cyborg, the clipper and the trimmer are nicer than the Stylecraft Saber clipper and trimmer. Then you have the Boosted. The Boosted is the same thing as the Rebel. And then you're going to have the Absolute Alpha and you're going to have the Protege. Well, the Rebel is nowhere near as nice as the Gamma Boosted. So once again, Gamma gets all the nicest products. The Gamma Boosted is the exact same product, but it's like 10 decibels quieter because the housing on it and the build quality are so much more substantial that it keeps the noise down a lot less than the Rebel. You flip a Rebel on and you squeeze it, literally you can quiet it down by squeezing the crap out of it. That's how cheap a Rebel is. And then the Absolute Alpha is an absolute joke. That is, they say it runs at 7,000 RPM. I tested it, it runs at like 5,100 RPM. Junk. The Protege is junk. Everything that Stylecraft sells is on the bottom tier. So as we were going down this road, JRL, BaBylissPRO, then you're gonna have your Oster, then you're gonna have your Gamma. Stylecraft is not sitting next to Gamma. Stylecraft is like down here. Then you're gonna have like TPOB, Wahl, they're kind of similar here. Stylecraft is like right here. And then you're gonna have, you know, Supreme Trimmer, and then like the real big junk is all down here. Like your Andis, Caliber, especially 4MAS, those are all like way down here. But if you guys want a hierarchy of how all this stuff works, is this gonna beat this? There's no way. What this company makes is higher than what Wahl makes. There's definitely a hierarchy to this. Is this gonna beat either one of these? I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys right now, it doesn't. Do I like this? No. Will I keep it? No. Do I think it's worth $200? No. If they were charging $100 for this, I would like it because I think that's what it's worth. $200 for this is crazy. This is 200 bucks. This is 110. If this is 110, this should be no more than $199, $104, $105. This is better. And this costs $90 less than this. Back to the tail of the tape. We have the Wahl wide T-blade with a DLC coating. Once again, they're very vague. I do like the fact that they beveled the top blade and they actually indented the screws, which I think is nice. But just a very, very mediocre product across the board. You can see the teeth are very shallow. Nice deep tooth. Of course, nice deep tooth. Look at the difference, guys. This is what Wahl is trying to create to compete with the big boys in 2023. Nothing about this product, there is not one thing about this product that is superior to anything in the top 5 besides that little port right there. That's it. So, I will not purchase anything from Wahl ever again. I'm done. I can't support this company. I don't like what they're doing. I don't like how they overcharge everything. What's funny too is this grip right here. When I was a kid, we had blackboards and we had green boards, chalkboards. And if you touch a chalkboard, it's got this real weird feeling that rubs your fingers, and and people always complain when you scratch a chalkboard. This feels like a chalkboard. It's not like a knurled grip. This feels like a flashlight. It feels like a mag light. It's nice feeling. This does not feel good. And I actually pulled this out of the box. And I'm so excited. You know, Wahl sent me a $200 device. I really want to see what this is all about. Everyone on the internet is searching for this product because they want to know the truth about what it is. And I have one. So I open it up and my girlfriend looked at it and she goes, ew. And then I gave it to her and she goes, oh, the way that feels, it feels like a chalkboard. And then she goes, yeah, no. And she dropped it and walked away. I have like 30 of these products, guys. She has never done that. This is the only product she's ever done that with. So the way that feels, I don't like it. It's just a very strange feeling. Like that's like a nail file. It almost feels like a nail file. It's just better. And then this is way better. Way better. Anyway. So if you guys are enjoying this video so far, please subscribe and give the video a like. It really helps out the channel. If you find this video helpful, please leave a comment. Actually, I want everybody to go down in the comments and just leave your favorite 3 trimmers. Just tell me what you guys like. If you think Gamma and Stylecraft are the best, if you think, I don't know why you would think, but if you think Wahl's the best, let me know. Let's start a discussion down there and everybody be polite. You know, you're stupid and you have no idea. I don't want to hear any of that stuff. But if you guys are contributing, let's start a discussion. I think that'd be a lot of fun in this video. I absolutely love making these videos. You know, I really hope that you guys are finding this information helpful. I hope you guys have been following along with me, and stay tuned because there's plenty more to come. Now, as you know, I'm not going to do an unboxing in any of my videos. I personally don't enjoy watching people do unboxings. I think it takes up too much time. Hey, look what I found. And they're opening. It's like, just get to the point. So I created this channel to make your life easier and to save you time. So I'm just going to show you what comes in the box of the Cyborg, and then I'll show you what comes with the Hi-Viz after that. Okay, so as you can see with the Gamma, they always give really great packages. The reason this doesn't have a bunch of interchangeable housings is because it's made out of metal. It's not one of their plastic offerings. You can see the cord right here, which is going to be a standard proprietary. That's going to go directly into the bottom. And then the USB-C is on the back. So the USB-C cord is right here, which I think is great that they include that. It's going to be USB-A, so you would have to have like an older brick. I think this should be USB-C to USB-C. It's 2023, guys, but regardless, it's cool that it comes with this. One of the nicest charging stands I've ever seen. This thing is freaking awesome. The male to female piece, so that's your male piece, and then that's your female down on the bottom. I don't know if you guys have seen my Stylecrap Saber video, but the way that sits, it's not too tight. You can see it kind of has a little wiggle, and you want that. You don't want this to sit in. Like, it doesn't matter how hard I press that in. This is not going to come with it. So if any of you guys are considering buying a Saber, you're out of your mind. That thing is a piece of junk. It's an overhyped Stylecraft product. Everything from Stylecraft is overhyped. Gamma keeps all the good stuff for themselves. This is a much nicer stand. This is a much nicer trimmer. It has 4 lights instead of 1. the feel of this is better than a rectangular or square boxy design. Look at the stand on this thing. This is weighted. You can see the rubber feet on the bottom. This has a very nice feel to it. It's substantial. It even lights up. But this is one of the nicest stands I've ever seen. Once again, Wahl, take notes. Everything about this and this is how you're supposed to do it. This does come with a 0 gap setting tool. So as I mentioned, you cannot unscrew both of these and push the blade and then screw them back in with a hex screw like a ton of products on the market today. That is a major fault of this. When you pull these two out, you do have to pop the blade off. The cutting blade's gonna come with it. And then you can see the tooth on this side. That's where you're gonna stick the teeth. And then you're gonna pop this in and it's gonna separate. It's pretty good. I think it's absurd that they would even think about offering something like this instead of just spending the time to be able to make those two accessible. That's my biggest complaint about this product. You know, the 2 screws protruding. I can't use trimmer guards with this to 0 gap, and I actually have to unscrew both of these and pop the top and bottom blade off. But besides that, this with the stand, the package, the box, like everything about this is a 10 out of 10. Because of those faults, I'm going to give you guys the rating in a little bit, but this is not a perfect device. It's very, very close. This also comes with a blade protector for transportation. This doesn't click on. This is one that slides on, and then you can see that you can use this as a 0 gapper as well, which doesn't really make sense. You still have to pop those off, so I would use that. But it comes with a blade guard for transportation, which is pretty cool. Then you can see you're gonna get a little oil, you're gonna get a little brush. So as far as the package, pretty dang stellar. No interchangeable housings, nothing crazy like a Stylecraft Rebel, but this is a better product than a Stylecraft Rebel. One of the nicest stands I've ever seen. Does come with 2 cords. Even something like TPOB, they'll give you a cord, but they won't even give you a brick. So this has everything that you need. I love the fact that they include a screwdriver, which I think is nice. Just pop these 2 off. You got to move those little guys out of the way, pull both of them off, unscrew, pop it in there, pop this back on. It's not difficult, but you're only 0 gapping it once. If you're good at it, you might have to try a couple times if you're not good at it. But as far as the package, this is a great package. And let's move on to the Hi-Viz. So as you can see with the Hi-Viz, very similar setup. Style is not quite as high. It's definitely a lot lower. That's my opinion. Some people might look at this and say it's beautiful, but you know, Britney Spears and NSYNC used to sell more albums than everybody, so who knows who's right. As far as the brick goes, with the cord, you can see this has a standard proprietary. This is universal, so whether you live in America or you live in Europe, you can simply pop this off, which is, it makes sense. I mean, they're saving money. They make 1 unit, and then they just come with interchangeables just like this, which I'm going to show you here in a second. But it doesn't feel really nice and substantial. This is very, very cheap. It's just hollow. It's not, this is very, very light. It's not branded. You know, BaBylissPRO brands all their stuff. So once again, you know, Wahl's charging $200. If they're trying to compete with the big boys, they need to copy what the big boys are doing. Yeah, we're trying to be unique. Well, I mean, this is obvious. We're cutting corners. We're saving money. So you can call that unique if you'd like. This is actually kind of funny to me. This is what Wahl is creating in 2023 with their #1 product. You can see this moves, which I think is pretty cool. But when I pulled this out of the package and I dropped this in it, I was like, are you kidding me? I actually got a little upset. My girlfriend wanted to throw this across the room, but what they're doing is taking extremely cheap plastic junk and they're just creating interchangeable housings for different products. Is that a cool idea? Yes. Is it done well? It's medium. It's middle of the line like Wahl. Do I like it? No, this feels cheap as crap. Like you literally slide that in and you click it and it's just this cheap, like even the Gold Detailer Li has a nicer stand than this. And that's $10 less than this. Way overpriced. They're both way overpriced, just like everything Wahl sells. But when you drop this in, it's all right. I mean, it's fine. It doesn't feel very substantial. The weight of that is not very nice. The way that it connects, you can see those 2 little prongs. There's no male to female. These are actually little prongs that kind of bounce. They're on springs, which I think is great. This is a very mixed package. It's average. It's fine. It's not excellent. It's not even close to excellent. But you can see this thing wobbles around a little bit. It's not going to get stuck. But when I'm taking something like this and I'm comparing it to something like this, the Gamma one is heavier. There's no cheap moving pieces that could snap and break. This is just cheap, flimsy junk. This is not cheap, flimsy junk. This is way nicer. This is gonna have rubber legs as well. Come on, Wahl, step your game up. Then of course, because this blade is not designed like the best in the business, I can't just take hex screws. Even something like TPOB, they're selling stuff that's $89, $79. You can find it for 60 something dollars after tax. You literally just take a supplied hex screw and you unscrew, move the blade, screw, and you're done. This is just what Wahl does. Even with their highest end product, they gave this no thought. I have to pop both of these off, pull the top blade off, which is ridiculous. And then I also have to pull the bottom blade off, the cutting blade, and I have to throw it in their little tool and sit there and figure out how this thing works. It does come with a little screwdriver, which is fine. Just not anywhere near as nice as what JRL, BaByliss, of course they're at the top, Gamma. This is not as nice. Make it easy to zero gap. Give it a non-ostentatious Cybertruck looking design. Make sure that this doesn't feel like a chalkboard. Yikes. And then of course they're gonna give you the useless oil and brush. And I mean, as far as the package goes, it's average, it's pretty nice. Mediocre stand, not branded, cheap. This is ridiculous. This should have been done with, I don't know, 15 years ago. No company should sell a zero gapping tool. You should literally be able to zero gap it easy, as I've described with JRL and BaByliss and TPOB. It does come with a blade guard for transportation. As far as the package, that's the Wahl. Now, as far as the design goes, here, you can see the Wahl is longer. The Wahl is definitely fatter, has a weird shape to it. No need for that crazy bump. The ergonomics of this and the way it fits, that's not gonna fit 100% of people. This just fits everyone's hand. Where the button is, you can see it's on the side over here. You can see it in the middle here. Because this is a brushless motor, listen. See how it kicks on immediately? Because this is a rotary motor, not that adaptive blah, 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 making you think it's a vector. It sounds like crap. This just purrs. It's really nice. It's very quiet. This definitely has a lot more vibration to it. I can feel that this is a lot cheaper and more hollow. This is heavier. You can see the neck. The neck on the Cyborg is thinner, not by much, but it's definitely thinner. You can see the shoulders. As far as the actual aluminum, you can see my fingerprints all over this. There are no fingerprints on this, just a better design. You can see they use matching screws for both. The blades. You want something with deep teeth because that feeds the hair in. And that's another thing I wanted to discuss with everybody. When it comes to magnetic motors, so you have rotary, you have brushless, you have magnetic, and you have vector. These two are problematic. They're not as good. While your brushless and your rotary are all-rounders, they do everything they're supposed to. 6,800, 7,000, 7,200, 7,500. What that means is you're gonna have your top blade and then you're gonna have your bottom blade, right? When this bottom blade moves, every time it moves and it hits center, hair can feed in and then it's just gonna chop, 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 chop. So you don't want it to be running at 10,000 because it's almost like the bottom blade is moving so fast that hair can't feed into it. So that's why when you take something, this is not a magnetic motor, but when you're trying to debulk with a magnetic motor, the bottom blade is moving so fast that hair cannot feed into it. So magnetic trimmers are literally just good for lines. That's it. They can't do both. And then you take something that has like, let's say this is a 6,800 RPM rotary motor, that blade is moving a lot slower. Not as slow as my hand, but it's moving a lot slower, and that's allowing hair to feed into the top blade. So it just chops the crap out of it. Like think about when you're using shears. You're not cutting with shears going, you're just going chop, chop, chop. So you have to let the hair feed in and then you cut it. Let hair feed in and cut it. If someone's like, hey, this has 6,800 RPM and it's a rotary motor, that's good. That's going to set lines, that's going to debulk, that's going to do everything that you need it to do. This has 7,500 RPM, so that blade is torching. It's still not moving too fast to where hair can't feed into that, but this is getting to the upper echelon of what you want a trimmer to be. 7,500 RPM, that's not necessarily better than 7,000 RPM or 6,800 RPM. It depends on what you want. Something that's going to be slower, that's rotary, is going to mow through bulk. This is going to be faster and it's brushless, so it's not going to mow through bulk as well. If you were taking this and you were setting lines with it and then you're coming down, it's fine. This mows through whatever. It does leave a little bit depending on where it's zero gapped, but if I turn this upside down and I go up someone's throat on their beard, this is going to snag and pull like crazy. It hurts. Like, I will not use this on myself, on my face, because it hurts. This is supposed to be the best trimmer in the world. A lot of people, Concise the Barber, a lot of people say that this is the greatest. And it can't even scoop. It's because it's brushless. It's because the teeth are moving so fast. It's just because of the design of this thing. I actually prefer rotary number one. They're the least expensive and point of entry. They are the best all-arounders. They're the best at debulking. They have the most amount of torque, and they're going to be a little bit louder. The battery length is not going to be as long as something like a brushless. Now, your brushless is going to have a more expensive barrier of entry. They're going to start more from the get-go. They're going to be more efficient, so they're going to have better battery life. They're not going to have quite as much torque. They're pretty much going to be more powerful, and they're going to be a little quieter than something like a rotary motor. These two win. And then you get to like your magnetic, screw magnetic motors. I don't like them at all. And then your Vector is basically like a cousin of a magnetic motor. 11,000 SPM, it's amazing, it's so powerful. They're loud as crap, and they're super problematic. So in my opinion, stay away from stuff over on this side and stay, it's kind of funny how these two are sitting like this. I'm saying stay, I'm not saying it because of that. I'm just saying this is a brushless motor, this is a rotary motor. Brushless is going to kick on instantly. It's going to be super quiet. This is going to rev up. There's brushes in this. This is still a rotary motor, but there's no brushes in it, so it just kicks on. It's super efficient. Better battery life. This has 3 hours of runtime. This has 2 hours plus. It makes sense. This is definitely a rotary motor. But Wahl won't tell us that because they're too cool for school, so they think. Charging ports. This looks like a goblin on Mario Brothers. Chomp, chomp, chomp. You can see his eyes and his angry mouth. This is just nicer and more subdued. It actually feels like, to me, guys, if you're really wanting to know what the difference between these two items is, it feels like Apple created this, and it feels like Windows or Android created this. Like, this is an Android. I pretty much could guarantee you whoever designed this that works at Wahl, they hate Apple. They've never owned an Apple product, but they're just one of those haters, and they have an Android. Because this feels like an Android. Apple knows how to make products that people love. Besides the faults of this, because I'm super nitpicky and I know way too much about this stuff, this to most people is a perfect product. This thing is freaking awesome. The grooves in the back, USB-C, thin neck, thin shoulders, ergonomic grip, brushed aluminum design. The button lights up. Even they made that light up. It's recessed a little bit so that you don't press it when you're in the middle of working. 4 LEDs. Digital motor. It's brushless. Everybody thinks brushless is better than rotary, but they're wrong. It's a newer technology, guys. It's not as torquey. They're more expensive. They're quieter. They run a little bit longer, but they're not as good all around. They're just not. Rotary is the time-tested gold standard. This is an awesome product, guys. The teeth on it. I hate the fact that they do the screws like that. That's just laziness. You know what's lazy too? Me not cleaning this thing off before I produce a video. The logo on it, like everything about this. Guys, this is spectacular. I love it. I'm not really the biggest fan of Gamma Stylecraft because I know what they do. They are hype machines, you know, especially with Stylecraft. Their price point of making stuff is really low. And they're charging everybody top of the line prices. So their profit margin's gigantic. So all they do is they send out all these products to all these reviewers who feel obligated to give them a good review. And then you're some 55, 60-year-old man who's been using Andis and Oster and Wahl your whole life. And then you get on YouTube because your kids told you to get on YouTube and do some research. And then you start watching videos and everyone, especially the biggest names, Stylecraft, 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 Stylecraft. And it's ridiculous. I purchased 8 products from Stylecraft. Stylecraft Rebel, the Absolute Alpha, the Ergo, and the Apex. They're all garbage. They're just straight trash. And they are like the worst quality just about, and then they're the best at marketing. So I bought them. I spent hundreds of dollars on that stuff. And then the number one most overhyped product on the planet is the Stylecraft Saber, which is this. Just done the Stylecraft way, the crap way. And I bought that. I bought the Flex. I bought the Rebel, which I actually really like the Rebel. And then I bought a Protege. The Protege, I actually will plug that in. It will charge all the way up to 100%. And then I'll unplug it and leave it on the table for a day and it's completely dead. So I sold it to my buddy for 20 bucks. Garbage. The Rebel is that souped up, comes with a stand, comes with a bunch of interchangeable housings. It's awesome. The Flex, literally when you turn on the Flex, you can see light bleed all throughout the body because it's such a cheap plastic piece of junk. The Flex is just it's a hype monster. Everything that Stylecraft makes is a hype monster. This is not. This is freaking awesome. I want everybody to recognize that Gamma is the superior. They keep all the best designs for themselves. I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10. This is one of the highest rated products I've ever tested. This is my 3rd favorite product out of every one that I've tested. I love almost everything about this. I really wish that this was easy to zero gap, and I wish that those 2 screws were recessed so that I could throw trimmer guards on this. This might be my favorite. It literally might be my favorite. Hold. These 2, they just do everything that I want. They do everything that I want. The way that this looks, the removable cap. This is the Snap FX, guys. The battery. Each one of these batteries has a 4-hour runtime. That means it comes with 2 batteries and it comes with a stand. That means I have 8 hours. I would have to charge this stupid thing 4 times to be able to do what this can do with 2 batteries. So if I'm a traveling barber, you know what? Your USB-C doesn't matter. I'm not going to bring the stand. I'm just going to bring an iPad charger, but I'm going to have to charge this 4 times. If I bring this and both of these batteries are charged, I can literally throw this in my bag. And when I'm done with 4 hours, which is double what that can do, I can literally snap a new battery in this and I'm good for 8 hours. This thing is freaking awesome. It's awesome. I love it. Look how you can zero gap that. Perfect. It's freaking perfect, guys. So, I mean, I can't say this is better because it's just not. It's not. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I think this looks a little bit better. This has an LED light, not quite as good as this. I really like that this has 4. With the FXOne, LoPROFX, and with the skeleton, they did give it a battery down at the bottom that has 4 LEDs. So BaBylissPRO is trying their hearts out. They are. Don't get the gold FX or the silver FX or the rose FX or any of the original skeletons. Those are $185 on their website. For $189, let's call it $190, you can get the boost. I reviewed the boost. The boost is nothing. It's nothing. It's the exact same thing as the original, but they put a rubber grip on it and they put a stupid boost logo on the side and they said it has a stronger motor. It doesn't. They all run at the exact same RPM. This is a special product. It's special as crap. Phenomenal. This is my favorite product out of all of them. The way it sounds, they're the only ones that have the JRL logo that lights up. The way it feels. And guess what? I'm glad we got to this point. When I hit and I pull down, it's fine. When I hit and pull down, it's fine. When I hit and pull down, it's fine. If I go under my neck, on my throat, and go up and I scoop where my beard is, this pulls and snags. So does this. So does this. Is the worst at it. All 3 of these are, look at that picture right there. Everybody wants these 3. This is easy number 1. This is easy number 2. This is way the hell over in left field. Do not buy this product, guys. Don't. Until Wahl actually shows that they're trying. They have to beat these 2. They have to beat this. Guess what? When I turn this and I set a line, it's perfect. I go straight down my face. This debulks better than anything I've ever used. And when I flip this upside down on my throat and I go to scoop, this does not pull or drag at all. This is by far the best trimmer on the market, period, bar none. It does everything perfectly. This is 110 bucks. Wahl, why are you charging $200 for this? You're joking me, right? And here's the thing too, guys. Wahl gave this to me.
This is not a sponsored video. They gave me a $200 device and I'm conflicted. This is one of the most difficult videos I've ever made. They did me a favor and they sent me a $200 device. Does that mean that I do them a favor and give them a good review? I mean, if I have a heart, which I do, I thought about that. But I can't do that because that's a lie. And that's what a lot of these YouTube reviewers are doing, especially with Stylecraft. They get a product, they feel obligated to give it a good review, they give a good review, and then they get another one. And they're like, hey, this is nice. I'm just gonna keep doing this forever. And that's the purpose of my channel, guys. Wahl can send me a $200 product and I am not gonna give it a good rating if I don't like it. I do not like this product. I just don't. I'm gonna give this a 7.5 out of 10. This is a 10, this is a 10, this is a 9.5. This is not a point down. This is not an 8.5. This is a 7.5. In school, when we got a 70, we got a D. We just passed the class. You get a 69, you fail. You got to try again. This is a 70 plus a little bit. This is a 75%. Wahl, you really need to step your game up. If you guys are thinking about what Wahl does really, really well, I'll tell you what Wahl does really well. This is what Wahl specializes in. They're one of the best in the world at guards. This thing is freaking awesome. These guards fit on most products. They're very nice. Very, very nice. This is what Wahl is excellent at. And also, they make really good $30 to $40 trimmers and clippers for Walmart and Target. That's their bread and butter. That is what Wahl is. That is what, like the board members, there's no way they all passed this around. And then they saw this. And then they saw this. And then they saw this. And they were like, yep. That's it. We sign off on this. All of us agreed that this is the best product. Hell no, that didn't happen. They're all sitting on a yacht somewhere because they sell tons of this. Every single barber in the world has some sort of Wahl trimmer guards. That's billions of dollars. And then every person that I know, they have a $30 or $40 or $50 Wahl clipper, like the colored ones that come with colored guards. And Wahl makes so much money on what they specialize in. Now, if you want to move up the line in Wahl, Magic Clip, freaking awesome. It's awesome. My best friend's wife said, hey, I'm going to start cutting, I'm not going to say his name, his hair. What do I get? I said, get a Wahl Magic Clip. Literally, I'm telling everybody right now, I recommend it as a clipper for her to spend $100 on Amazon and get a Wahl Magic Clip because it's awesome. And then if you want to go super supreme, best that Wahl makes, the Senior. The Senior and Magic Clip are where they shine. Clippers is where they shine. Their trimmers are trash. They're just trash. And then this is their $200 device. Wahl, my advice is lower the price of this to 99 bucks and sell all of them and stop manufacturing. And take your idea for a USB-C and try again. And the best place to start is buy this, and buy this. And figure out what the heck they did and make your product as close to this as possible. Do exactly what the Koreans are doing. Do what Samsung did with their phones. Samsung is dominating the Android market because they took what Apple did with the iPhone in 2007 and then they replicated it and they made some tweaks to it and they elevated it. It's better screen, better battery life, better waterproofing, blah, blah, blah. That's what the Koreans do. And then think about what Kia and Hyundai and Genesis, especially Genesis, think about what they're doing. You see a Genesis SUV driving down the road, you're like, look at that Bentley. It's not a Bentley. It's a Genesis because they were all sitting down, ruthless as hell. That's what this company should be. They should be ruthless as hell. Hey guys, what's our next design? I don't know. Make it 98% the same as this and mix a little bit of this in it and we're done. Will it win? Yes, it'll win. That's what the Koreans are doing. Whoa, this is what happens when you guys try. What is this? It's crazy. This is crazy. $100 max. This is worth every dollar of $200. This is worth every dollar of $30, $40. It's worth every dollar. And all of your clippers at Walmart and Target are worth every dollar of $30, $40. And if you're going to try and make a Lamborghini, copy Lamborghini. That's all I got to say about that. So as far as the review, this is not an excellent product. This is an average product. I've done 25 of them on my website, and this is like number 16 or 17. It's like way down at the bottom. There's a whole section in the middle that's better, and then there's a whole section at the top, and this lives at the top because it deserves it. They didn't send me this. I spent $215 on this. This is worth every dollar of $199. It's not my favorite. It's not me. It's really close to me. This is me. Guys, if you're in the market to buy the nicest trimmer in the world, I'd say the FXOne LoPROFX is up there. It's not as nice as this. This is the best. There's nothing that even comes close to this. This is a solid 10. This is a slight step down to me than this. And then this is a slight step down. This is a 9.5 and this is a 7.5. I really hope that you guys found this video helpful. If so, please leave a comment below. I love this. I love comparing products. I love tearing them apart and trying to tear them apart, and I really can't because it's phenomenal. And then getting a product that's not that good and tearing it apart is easy. This is easy to mess with. You guys remember when I did that? This is just, what in the world is this? This is upside down. It should be way down here. And then this is just gonna sit way up here. If you guys wanna see how these stack up against all the best trimmers in the world, go to clintmallon.com. If you look up in the nav bar, you're gonna see the archives. The very first article on that page will be titled The World's Best Hair Trimmers. There's over 20 of them that I've done so far. There's links to purchase everything. You can compare all the specs. You can compare my thoughts. I literally put them in order from number 1. This is number 3. This is number 1. This is number 2. I think this is like number 16. If you guys want a real quick resource, go to that page, bookmark it in your phone. That way, if you're looking for a trimmer and you're trying to figure out where all these lay, I've spent so much time. It is the most comprehensive trimmer review anywhere on the internet. You can literally figure out what the RPM of this, and this is within 20 seconds on one page. So please go check that out. As always, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and thank you for watching.